Hello, welcome back. If this is your first time showing up here, welcome to the channel, and I hope that you find something that's entertaining, at least, if not something interesting enough to start a debate or a conversation here or in your personal life or whatever. Because honestly, we don't make a whole lot of progress in life dealing with life's difficult situations if we're not in a relatively uncomfortable position. You don't do a lot of good, amazing stuff in your comfort zone. It's other than just your normal feel good shit. So a lot of times it takes the difficult discussions to make things happen. That's what I aim to try to get done here on this channel. Some is to just to bring people out and speak about their differences and speak about their similarities and all of what makes us fucking American patriots and citizens and so forth. Because it never used to be this difficult. Somewhere we got lost along the way, so somebody got to do something to bring it back. Hopefully we can help with that. Today's video is going to be on a personal topic about, well, it's going to be in detail about how I was able to reverse chronic kidney disease. And they say that's not possible, but it is 100% possible. I'm living proof I shouldn't be alive today. I should have been dead before 21. As you see, I'm not dead. I may look kind of dead, but I'm not dead. I'm physically alive still. And actually, I've begun the process to repair my kidneys. My kidney function was extremely low at one point. It did come back after I started reversing the course, but it never did go very high as far as a quick number regain, but it did. I've got it up to a pretty solid number now. I'll tell you about it at the end of the video. But first of all, this is in no way, let me declare this is no way medical advice. I'm not a doctor nor a medical advisor of any sort. I have no medical history other than basics. Military grade CPR and basic survival, mouth to mouth, so forth. Good stuff like that. Lots of good fun. Pretty extensive on that aspect, but still not medical training of any sort, really, other than just the basic. I'm not making an opinion on pharmaceuticals nor pharmaceutical companies. I'm not making judgment on whether things work for everybody or nobody. Nothing at all. Some things work for some people, some work for others. I'm not trying to recommend that you buy anything. I'm not recommending that you use anything that I've used, and I'm also not trying to sell you anything. This video is 100% because I was dying and my life was spared because of what I found out. So I know that there's a lot of people out there suffering with a similar disease. I was made aware of that when I was introduced to the dialysis world, and I found that most of the dialysis patients were much younger than I had anticipated them being. Also, let me disclose that I've previously had no kidney issues and no family history of kidney issues. I had a very solid GFR prior to being put on a regimen of different things, and it just went really bad, probably worst case scenario. But I looked for information about this in regards to this while I was battling this process, and it did not make itself available. So I ask that you do one thing. Please subscribe and help me get the platform big enough that other people can see this information too, because you may very well know somebody right now going through the exact same thing, and maybe some of the stuff I'm about to tell you will trigger something and get this information to those people. So I'm gonna try to keep it with under 20 minutes. Just take a few minutes to try and hear what I have to say and see if you can pass that on. Just pass it on to one person. Share this with one person, and you've done as much as you need to do. Share with 100 people you've went out, did yourself. So anyway, again, I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to save people's lives, because if I'd have had this information a lot earlier in the game, I would have recovered a lot better and probably not suffered nearly the loss that I have. But by the way, I'm Sean Havlin, the owner of North American Trucking Incorporated. I'm 53 years old. Back in the late 2019, early 2020, I was fighting a pretty rigid battle with cancer, and was taking an unconventional, I should say, treatment, one that's not FDA approved for the cancer, and extremely happy with that results. That's maybe another video for another day. It's not something I can speak about now without first consulting an attorney or something, because a lot around that whole process, and it did save my life as well. I had a bad setup of cancer. It was pretty well completely taken over, and I just say this: there's a lot of things out there that we don't know about that we should know about. So While fighting that, my blood pressure has been high my entire life. Historically, back as far as I can remember, maybe 7 or 8 years old, it was high, and I mean extremely high. But it's never posed really any problems that I'm aware of. But eventually, I got to the point where those numbers didn't scare me. But I did enjoy watching people take my blood pressure and see if they would how they reacted to the crazy high numbers. So that's a detail of content that's going to give you a little bit of context over the whole thing. Um, I was battling cancer. My blood pressure was about the same as it always was, pretty high, damn high. And my primary care physician wanted to add an additional medication to the regimen I was taking, to my lisinopril, to see if he could lower the blood pressure a little, so help my body perform a little more optimally, I guess, while I was going through the treatment. But good doctor. I've been with him a long time, so I agreed, and we started taking the medication. It was about 3 weeks into it where I went to go do my weekly blood pressure test, and to my surprise, my blood pressure was absolutely normal. Had not ever been that I'd seen myself. And so first response is maybe my blood pressure cuff is not working right. It has to be wrong because I've never been even close to that. And I didn't feel much different. There was no significant gain in health feelings or the way I felt, energized or nothing like that. So I went down to the pharmacy and I picked up another cup and come home, put it all together and plugged it in and tested it, and sure as hell it was right. So I'm in a state of just absolute happiness. Never had seen it that way. It felt great. Things were good. And so I continued on that regimen, and the few months roll by, and I get this call from my doctor about the cancer treatment, and he has everybody sit down. He's talking on a speaker call, and everybody hears I'm cancer free. So anyhow, I get the same exact. It could have been a day later. I get a call from my primary care physician. Says that he needed to talk to me about my blood test results. They threw a red flag came up about the fact that I'm extremely bad shape with my kidneys. Well, I never had any kidney problems before, so I was kind of surprised by this. And he went on to tell me that I was at a level, my GFR, which is your measurement of your kidney function, was at such a level that I was considered a stage 3B chronic kidney disease. Now, it's about 4 months after taking that additional medication. It was added to my regimen, and I was cancer free, so I thought I was just going really good. But by this time, I'm starting to lose a lot of weight. I'm unable to eat hardly, had no appetite. Everything tasted messed up. Um, just a whole barrage of symptoms. I had been having some deep tissue itching. When I say that, I mean like cellular level itching where you can't scratch it, but you never get the itch to go away. Turns out that was a pretty significant sign of kidney failure. And same with liver failure. You get a similar thing with liver failure because the toxins aren't being removed and so forth. But the thing with kidney failure is, I would say, once it's done, once you have it, you can't do anything about it. It's going to continue to progress. You can try to slow it, but you'll never repair the numbers. Okay, so keep that in mind what I just said right there, because I'm going to tell you by the end of this video, you're going to understand why I'm telling you this. So I immediately freaked out. Of course, they assigned me a kidney specialist at a hypertension place, and I started researching everything I could find. And while place to start would have been the new medication that was added to my regimen, I did that, and it's comes up as a very long term, having long history of positive results, very few side effects, and very rare cases of any serious side effects. So, but that was really all I could find about it, and it has several sisters that are in the same family, and they you can look those up, Google them, but the medication was called chlorothalidone. It's a very long time, been around a long, long time. Lots of people use it, and it's been very successful. So I'm not saying that any way at all that you should stop taking any type of medication, or you should be unhappy with pharmaceutical companies or anything like that. You should not take my advice as medical advice. It is not. I'm explaining to you what I did and how I was able to turn this around. Will this work for anybody else? I don't know. Is it worth a try if you're dying? Absolutely. So this is all up to you to pass this on to the people you think it might help. Maybe it will, maybe it will not, but I promise you this, it's all natural, and it did not cause me any extra heartache. It did not harm me in any way. And again, I'm not trying to sell this product. I don't have the right to sell it. I don't want to sell it, not care to. So throughout all this research, I find religious amounts of just people saying the same thing. You can maybe slow it down. You might even stop it kind of, or put it in remission, but you'll never reverse the effects. Once it's done, the kidneys don't repair themselves. So off and running, I dwindled away a little bit more. I was originally 270 pounds, and I ended up at my lowest weight at 118 pounds, and I haven't been that skinny in ever probably. I was a big boy, but I got to the point where I was eating muscle. I used to be a really big guy, and my body was starting to dissolve muscle because I wasn't eating and it needed nutrients, and I was dying. So I started putting some things in order. They wanted me to go see a dialysis place. I did so, and just the sheer heinousness of that whole situation that was never appealing to me. But when I showed up there and I was expecting to see a bunch of old elderly people with dying kidneys, my mind was blown. There was a much younger crowd of people in there, and that had it been in any other situation in time, that would have been a red flag. I'd have probably jumped all over it, but I did not at the time because I was still trying to swallow the whole I'm about to die, about to be hooked up to this machine thing. I also did a little research on what it costs to do dialysis, and it's somewhere around $12,000 a session or a hookup or whatever. I don't know if that means monthly or not, but it's a big number to start with. So that right there always brings into the mix options and possibilities of people doing things not quite so honest. That was a little bit of a flag. Again, didn't catch those right off the top because I was a little concerned about my situation at hand. I regret that now, looking back. I made an appointment with the cardiologist that I had been seeing for a lot of years, and I went in to see him just basically to say goodbye because he had actually been really good to me, and I want to say goodbye without saying goodbye. So I went into his office, and he asked me how I was doing. I said, well, not really great, doc. Obviously, see, I lost a lot of weight. He goes, yeah, sure have. I said, kidneys are failing apparently. He goes, really? I don't see any. I don't remember any history of you having kidney problems. Where'd that come about? So anyway, long story short, his name was Dr. Richard Heuser, and I have to give him a shout out because he passed away about 8 months ago, and I think it might have very well been from what he had to do to keep going in 2020. But he had some pretty bad effects coming out of it, and he just kept getting worse and looking worse and worse. And then last time I saw him, he was in real bad shape. But God bless you, Dr. Heuser, and everything that you've done for all the people you've cared for in your lifetime, and I hope to see you on the other side, my friend. God bless you. So he looks at my medication list, and he goes, comes back in there, and he goes, hey, do me a favor, just stop taking this. And it's the one I mentioned earlier. He goes, in 10 days, go to the Sonora Quest there by your place and get your blood work done. I said, sure, why not, doc? So we continued our conversation. I saw myself out, and I moved on down the road and went and took the blood work. And at the time when I was there, I got down to 13. My GFR got as low as 13, and I needed to either go on dialysis or just start preparing to die, and I chose to prepare to die. So in this meantime, this gentleman had ran that blood work, and he called me back about 3-4 days after I had done it, and he said, does 19 sound any better? I said, well, okay, sure, 19, whatever, that's good. I mean, it was an increase of like 5 or 6 points, and that even was impressive because I was going down and wasn't coming back up any. So, but I wasn't going to get too ahead of myself and tell anybody else. So I waited, and we did this. He goes, I got you an appointment set up for another 10 days, which would be not the coming Friday, but the following Friday. He says, do your blood work, and we'll check and see what it is then. Okay. Hung up the phone and, a little hope, but not much. So I went about my business and did the blood test as he asked, and the results came back. He called me about 4 days later. This time it was like Tuesday or Wednesday of the week. So kind of had to wait a little stressed out, wondering what the results were going to be. And first thing he said when he answered the phone, he goes, 24. I said, what the fuck? Now I've just about doubled. It's a 10-digit. It's a good double-digit number in an increase. So now I got excited. I got real excited. I got so excited. I started telling him how much I loved him. Thank you, and man, you're the best. And that's when he kind of brought me back down on the earth. He goes, now chances are it's not going to come all the way back. He goes, it depends on how much damage was done. He goes, and how able you are to repair your function back up. He goes, but whatever's damaged is damaged, and it probably will never come back. So I kind of curtailed the happiness a little bit, but either way, I was up around 30, which was sustainable. It was not insurable by any means, but it was sustainable. So, and it was way better than 12, So I went ahead and I told my family. Everybody got excited, and my wife put it into overdrive and started looking into other things you could do to repair the kidneys at a cellular level that maybe nobody talks about. And I'll just say this: there is very much so. And I don't want to drag this video out forever, so I'm going to wrap it up here real quick. But I was diagnosed with an illness that would become terminal. It was a fast progressing loss of kidney function. It was misdiagnosed as stage 4, or originally stage 3B kidney disease, chronic kidney disease. It was not. It was induced by a foreign substance. I'm not going to put a name to it, but y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. That my body did not respond well to, and it commenced an all-out war on my kidneys, and my kidneys were degraded to a point of barely survival in less than 9 months. So if, this is key fact number one, if you know anyone that complains about itching that they cannot scratch and get rid of for any period of time, that's a sign. If you have someone who has a real steep increase or a steady downward trend of their functions, kidney functions, or any measurement used on your body's organs, any kind of all of a sudden radical decrease or dive down or anything like that, that too is also a sign. Now, it may not necessarily be related to what I'm speaking about here, but keep those things in mind. Those are key points to your health. If something changes real quick or suddenly, look at what's immediately been done and then follow through with seeing what is most recently prior to that been done. It's just common sense is what you have to implement, because doctors don't have all the time to implement it for you. This is your part of the battle. Okay, so now the next thing I want, again, like I said, you have to be vigilant. I got done with the real seriousness. I lost over 125, 130 pounds, and I've now managed to gain some of it back. I've also been eating the right vitamins and minerals, which is hard to get today in our fruits and our vegetables because they're so depleted from the way we grow things. My suggestion, I was put on a high regimen of very potent things, direct high quality sea moss for my micronutrients, vitamins, and stuff that you don't normally get. I take regimens of all sorts of different spices and herbs and stuff that are super important and do amazing things. I'm not going to say right now, I'm not going to give you any addresses or information. You're free to question or comment in the comment section, and I can hook you up with my wife. She can give you the names and stuff we used, but in no way do I promote any specific brand, or am I trying to sell you any type of product here. So please don't let that cloud up this. The information in this video has to get to the right people, or otherwise somebody you know or love may end up dying over this. Now, I stand today in front of you with blood tests as recent as a month ago with the GFR of 61. When it finally did its initial recovery 2.5 years ago, it peaked at 34. I'm now 61, almost 30 numbers higher. This has been obtained by taking a consistent dosage of something called nettle seed and a few other things that my wife has thrown together that just help your body have the building blocks it needs to do things it's supposedly not capable of doing. So I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to get up into the pharmaceutical industry, stepping on their toes or anybody else. I don't recommend you stop taking your medications. I recommend that you hear what I've said and ask questions. You're free to reach out. I'll answer any questions I can as quickly as I can, and ask other sources and other people. Just do your research, man. It's there. My life has been spared, and I'm grateful. God played a big, big role in that. God gave me the strength to fight, and my family the knowledge and wisdom to find out what they needed to. God has been here every step of the way, and I strongly suggest if you're battling against something bigger than you, first thing you need to do is ask God to give you a hand, or at least ask Him to grant you the strength to beat through it, because that's what I did, and it's gotten me here. On top of that, He also allowed the people around me to see the right things that they needed to see, hear the right information that they needed to hear, and He pushed this whole thing in the right direction. And for that, I'm so grateful. So I'm going to cut this off right now. God bless you. God bless those that you love. And just take care of yourselves, okay? And please share this with somebody. Hit the subscribe button, and you can throw a like in there too. You can throw a dislike. Just make a comment. Just let me know. Let me know that you people are seeing this and that you're interested, because this is how we're going to get the information out. I don't have any fans. I don't have any followers. I don't have nothing. Until I get a few more, they're not even going to recommend this stuff to it. This is important information that can save a lot of lives. So please help me. Thank you.